Hello, it is a great pleasure for the G.K. Chesterton Institute for Faith and Culture at Seton Hall University to collaborate once again with the Rimini Meeting for the new adaptation of the G.K. Chesterton's play The Surprise, entitled Liberty Tutti. Thank you to Dr. Dermot Quinn for giving us such a wonderful background to Chesterton's play, which is the basis for this new adaptation. We now would like to welcome Otello Censi, Creative Director of the Rimini Meeting, who will speak to us about the meeting and Liberty Tutti. Otello Censi is the Director of the Performing Arts Division at the Rimini Meeting and Creative and Artistic Director and Maid Officina Creativa. He has produced stage adaptations of works by T.S. Eliot, Camus, and Leopardi, as well as TV productions for Rai 2 and the stage production of Aldo Finzi's La Serenata al Vento. He has also directed productions of works by Shakespeare, Thomas More, and Paul Claudel, among others. In 2011, he worked with the G.K. Chesterton Institute for the stage production of Chesterton's The Ballad of the White Horse, and in 2013 for the production of the adaptation of Man Alive. Mr. Censi is currently working with the Institute in preparation for this year's stage production, Liberty Tutti. So we welcome Otello Censi, and we welcome our friends in the United States, in Italy, and all over the world for a conversation with Otello. Hello, Otello. Welcome.
Hello, Gloria. Hello to everybody, and thanks, Gloria.
You're welcome. We're happy to have you and to have you talk to us a little bit more about the Rimini Meeting and the new play and the work of the Rimini Meeting. As I mentioned, your background and your position at the meeting, and which is the Rimini Meeting is also known as the Friendship Among Peoples and exists since 1998. Otello, tell us a little bit more about what kind of event is the Rimini Meeting.
Thank you, Gloria. The Rimini Meeting is an international and cultural event that has been taking place in Rimini for 43 years. I practically grew up with it because from an early age, I helped in some elementary and organizational aspects. Then I began to actively participate in the first shows. The Rimini Meeting is a project carried out by some very young friends who shared the desire for an encounter and comparison with the whole world, an adventure that was born around the table in a pizzeria in San Giuliano, a small district of Rimini, linked among other things to the great director Federico Fellini that you know is born in Rimini. The meeting has grown so much over the years, becoming an international capital of culture for thousands of people who met and meet each year in August in Rimini, a small city overlooking the Adriatic Sea in the center of Italy, not far from Venice and Florence. Every year, great political personalities, managers, representatives of different religions and cultures, intellectuals and artists, athletes and protagonists of the world scene visited. Something like Pope John Paul II and the Dalai Lama, Mother Teresa of Calcutta, Ennio Morricone, Andrei Tarkovsky, Martha Graham, Giovanna Testori, Eugene Ionesco, and many, many others. The meeting offers a story of men and women through conferences, exhibitions, shows, and sporting events. The event has two main features: the vastness and the heterogeneity of the issue addressed through witnesses and experts from all over the world. Since the beginning, the meeting has bet on the desire and the passion that each man has in his own heart, the desire of beauty, truth, and justice. For this reason, it is different from any other thematic festival because it represents the attempt of every man to answer questions concerning every area of their own life: family, job, education, etc. The other feature is that the event, since its first edition, has been realized thanks to the free collaboration of about 3,000 volunteers, including students, adults, seniors from Italy and from all over the world. They pay every year for their own trip and lodging, and organize stage and manage the meeting, the whole meeting. A living witness of how gratitudinous is a possible and testable value. People freely offer their work in order to live this amazing experience. And to show you what is the meeting, I suggested to see together now, to watch together a video that tell us something about the meeting of Rimini.
For the last 40 years in Italy, there's been an event where you can encounter protagonists of the changes of our era. Representatives of religions and cultures, managers and heads of institutions, intellectuals and artists, athletes and people with experiences to relate. It is the Meeting of Rimini. Over 200 events and 600 speakers, 7 areas and theme spaces, 20 exhibits and as many performances, 800,000 visitors, the biggest summer festival in the world of encounters, arts and performances. Since 1980, 8,000 speakers have participated in the events of the meeting for friendship among peoples. Among them, Nobel Prize winners, world leaders, saints like Mother Teresa and Pope John Paul II, key figures with different orientations, provenance and sensibilities, who dialogue about the most crucial issues. Every meeting includes exhibits on scientific or historical topics, or urgent issues for modern times, and photo shows. An innovation in recent years has been the creation of areas and spaces dedicated to specific themes, such as work, health, the city, sustainability, and international cooperation to explore global trends and discover their consequences on daily life. The meeting is also a great opportunity for meeting with friends, maybe in the evening at the performances that attract thousands of spectators and are held in the Rimini Expo Centre, or in the scenic areas of the city, or during a break at the dining areas, providing everything from regional cuisine to street food, or by taking part in the more than 30 sports events organised during the week. For children and young people, there is a village with an incredible number of games, performances, exhibits and hands-on workshops. A singular aspect of the meeting is the workforce of over 3,000 volunteers, most of them young, who take care of every detail of the event, from parking to meals, from the functioning of the halls to the village for kids. 3,000 people whose creativity and passion create an event that is unique in all the world. The meeting is a festival, an event of peace and dialogue, a place of friendship, friendship among peoples.
Thank you, Otello, for your information, for your remarks. Each year, the meeting starts from a particular topic, a title, and it's a different topic each year. It's a topic of reflection. Could you share with us which will be the title of this summer's edition?
Yeah, Gloria, the title of the next edition will be A Passion for the Person. The unpredictable and changing international geopolitical order, the plight of thousands of refugees, the growing poverty also due to the pandemic, the emergency linked to the global warming, and ecological risks are impressive challenges that affect the present and the future of mankind. The challenge of how to live touches everyone. The courage to get involved once again, the need to build authentic relationship with anyone who becomes part of our human trajectory are decisive element in order not to succumb. In the midst of these tragedies, in the face of these unknowns, there are people who reawaken hope. It is this hope which drives each one of us in the face of a gesture of freedom, the never entirely dormant desire for happiness, for taking action and enterprising is reborn. It is the irreducibility typical of the human heart which even in the greatest adversity identifies an expected solution and seeks the companies of other men and women in order to respond to the challenges and questions of the present time. It is in particular story where a correspondence between desire and the real event can be traced, that we can find a different and a humanly desirable way of facing life in all its complexity. In seeking and sharing this desirable beauty which fills our eyes and earth, we will face together the challenge that the title of the 2022 meeting poses to the whole world, a passion for the person. This passion for the person can also be simplified as a love for the freedom of the other, a desire that the person can be fully free and that he fulfills the destiny for which he was created.
Thank you, Otello, for all your information and for telling us such wonderful details about the meeting and about how it all comes about. But I'd like to ask you personally, how did you get to know Chesterton? What was your first encounter? What has been your experience? So how do you know G.K. Chesterton?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I knew him since I was a child, but I wasn't aware of it. More than 40 years ago, a TV series played by the Italian actor Renato Raschel and based on the novels of Father Brown was broadcast in Italy. Recently, the TV series was realized on DVD and I got to appreciate it with my children. Then I discovered that the author of that series, which was about a simple and a human priest, much wittier than any policeman or investigator, was the English author Gilbert K. Chesterton. In the meantime, I had read splendid novels by the same author, such as The Man Who Was Thursday and Men Alive. What have I always found extremely interesting in Chesterton novels? He enhances life, reality, everyday life in all its aspects with boldness. His characters are able to enjoy small things and have the courage to express their own opinion, even if it is countercurrent or uncomfortable. Through his paradoxes and aphorisms, Chesterton has an ironic, witty, virile, and most of all, innovative way of writing. So in 2013, I proposed to Giampiero Pizzold, that is an author and a friend of mine, to write a stage version of the text, Men Alive. It was thanks to that occasion that we are able to collaborate for the second time with you and the Chesterton Institute for Faith and Culture. And we have a very short trailer of this show, and if it's possible, I propose to see it.
Che pazzo! Chi parla di pazzia non sa che cosa sia.
conosciamo tutti ormai e viviamo da anni annoiati di noi stessi.
Io avrò la vostra guardia!
Aprite gli occhi e vedrete la luce!
Avevamo deciso che il mondo si impiccasse ed eccolo appeso! Io vi aiuterò!
Io punterò le pistola alle tempie dell'uomo moderno, non per ucciderlo, ma per riportarlo alla vita.
The show was a great success and continued to rerun for 3 years, leaving some good questions in the heart of minds of the spectators, something that always occurs with Chesterton's novels. On that occasion, we also met the Italian Chestertonian Company and its president, Marco Sermarini, obviously a great lover and connoisseur of the author. Marco accompanied us on this first theatrical adventure, introducing us to the Chesterton admirers in different parts of Italy. Thanks to the activity of these people, Gilbert K. Chesterton's works were saved from the complete censorship and the oblivion. Indeed, this author was well known in the early 90s, but he has been excluded from the study paths not only in compulsory schools, but also at university. In the same year, the meeting also created an exhibition which offered visitors much more than an introduction to the life. The thought and the works of the most famous English essayist and apologist of the 20th century. But in the footsteps of his Innocenzo Smith, it let people literally sneak into his house so that people can discover the author through his objects, places, and affective experiences that have shaped his gaze and his writings. The exhibition itinerary is that of the Chesterton apartment, with passage from one room to another, like we can see in this wonderful video.
Quando sei qui con me, questa stanza non ha pareti, ma alberi, alberi infiniti. Quando tu sei vicino a me, questo soffitto violano non esiste più. Io vedo il cielo sopra noi, che restiamo qui, abbandonati come se non ci fosse più niente al mondo. Suona un'armonica, mi sembra un organo che vibra per te, per me. e per me c'è. Suona un'armonica, mi sembra un organo che vibra per te e per me su nell'immensità del cielo, per te e per me c'è.
Few years later, I was willing to stage The Man Who Was Thursday, but the publisher, Walter Raffaelli, made me discover a text that was about to be published for the first time in Italy, a short time later, The Ballad of the White Horse. About 100 years ago, in 1911, Chesterton suddenly woke up in the middle of the night and wrote this poem based on the dream. The novel was a huge success and generated a bevy of enthusiastic admirers, including the historian Christopher Dawson and the writers Graham Greene and Chesterton Lewis too, author of the Chronicle of Narnia and the character of Berlic. The whole plot of this text revolves around an historical fact, the Battle of Ethandune, which was fought from the 6th to the 12th of May 878, and so Alfred defeating the Danish invader led by King Guthrum, who were spreading over English soil. The story, written for people to be read in a long evening around the fireplace, is set in the Valle del Cavallo Bianco, the White Horse. The ballad, which is the quintessential form of the folk tale, is the song that gathers and the entire tribe around the fire. But the author immediately warns that the story of Father Alfred is not a fairy tale. The great battle of which he was the protagonist to defend his land from the Danish invaders tells the men of today of an eternal and daily battle to sustain the certainty that creation is a good thing. This text is dramatically current today for what we are living. The recital was very exciting and engaging for the over 3,000 people present in the theater. The show was performed by an exceptional Massimo Popolizio, the young actress Laura Palmieri, and with Marco Poeta's music and the exceptional voices of the singer, in particular Eleanor Shenley from Dublin. Moreover, great original moving images were used as a backstage. This multimedial event has marked the beginning of our collaboration, Gloria, and with the Chesterton Institute for Faith and Culture. So about this show, we have another video that we can use to hear the wonderful music used on this show, and to see Popolizio and Laura on the video. Please.
Se parliamo di cavalli, immaginate di vederli realmente stampare gli zoccoli sul terreno, poiché è il vostro pensiero che ora deve vestire il nostro re.
e la morte raggiunse l'imperatore. E la notte scese sul Papa e re Alfred, chinato tra l'erba alta, fortificò il suo cuore.
Ma tu e tutta la stirpe di Cristo siete ignoranti e coraggiosi e avete guerre che a stento vincete e anime che a stento salvate.
Ma che scarti della terra sono questi! Il pregio dei loro abiti è tale che non ne ricaverei un soldo! La schiavitù e la fame sono forse fiori da cogliere come state facendo? Da un cieco e remissivo mondo idiota! Io cavalco verso la battaglia.
In the context that you have talked to us about the meeting and about you knowing Chesterton, how did it come about? What Chesterton's work did you think of for adapting, and how was that process? I think it would be wonderful to know how your knowledge of Chesterton and his works brought you to your choice of Chesterton's work for this year's adaptation.
I show with you in this way. Do you remember these pictures? We have this background in our picture, in all pictures that we take during the exhibition in Rimini. And but I didn't know the meaning of this text because I never read before. And so the text is the surprise. And I read it looking for a new text to play in Rimini. It is a piece of writing that I did not know, how I tell you, and that I discovered by chance, by looking for a work that could deepen the theme of the 2022 meeting. Liberi Tutti is a new play, is a new title that we give to this opera. It's a new play based on a less known work by Chesterton, The Surprise of 1931, written by the English playwright for a performance in Beaconsfield, his adopted city. Through this text, perhaps Chesterton wanted to answer in his own way to 6 characters in search of an author by Pirandello, 1921. It is the meta theater that gives substance to Chesterton's text, which differs from Pirandello's work for its extreme likeness and irony, through which profound and important themes are addressed. Protagonist of Liberi Tutti is a noble-hearted puppeteer who writes a simple and fairy tale comedy to prove that it's possible to tell a story without bad characters and evil deeds. The bet is won, but the puppeteer is not satisfied. For his puppets, he wants a more ambitious future. He does not want them to interpret his work with obedience. For them, he dreams of the miracle of being, not just that of acting. The plot, rewriting in a contemporary key by me, together with Giampiero Pizzol, focuses on the man and the intimate questions that animate him, addressing the themes of free will, passion, and the desire for happiness with a witty and surprising attitude. Why, despite his desire for good, does man do bad deeds? How to get to that primordial love which everyone needs and of which the beauty of creation is a sign? The same questions are addressed by the puppets in the short film What Are the Clouds, 1968, by Pierpaolo Pasolini, to whom we want to pay homepage through this show on the occasion of the centenary of his birth. In Liberi Tutti, at the center of the reflection, there is the theme of freedom, the highest summit of human greatness, which though also imply mistakes, rebellion, hatred, and pain. So, how to manage the dizzying risk of being free, how to live together or even defend the freedom of other people around us. Good question in our time. We already did a first reading of the script, and from July 4th, we will be rehearsing in Rimini with a wonderful cast made up of young and highly talented performers. The first performance will be on August 20th in Rimini, in a beautiful, recently renovated venue, the Aminto Regali Theatre, listed as one of the world's 100 great places of the 2019 by the Time. We can see something about it.
Thank you very much, Otello, for your time, for this wonderful conversation, for these insights about, once again, the Rimini meeting, the Chesterton's presence, and our collaboration. On behalf of our Institute and the Rimini meeting, I would like to thank you for your interest in Chesterton, our Institute, and our work. We wish you great success in this year's meeting with such an important topic that you will address, and also for the adaptation, which will be presented on August 20th at Teatro Galli, which we have been able to see what a wonderful venue that is.
Thank you to you, Gloria, and I wait you in Rimini. I hope to meet you again in Rimini.
To all of our friends that are watching this recording, we invite you to visit the Rimini Meetings website, www.meetingrimini.org, where you will find information about the meeting, about the exhibits, about all of the presentations and events that we have available. And we leave you today also with an invitation to attend the Rimini meeting, to get to know what they do and how they do it so well. The meeting will be held in the city of Rimini from August 20th to the 25th. We also invite you to learn more about our work at the Chesterton Institute by visiting www.shu.edu/Chesterton. So you can learn about our work and our journal, the Seton Review. We hope to see you all in Rimini from August 20th to the 25th, and thank you very much for spending this time with us. Arrivederci. Thank you.